Hey, how's it going everyone? Gribnum here, back again with another Raid Shadow Legends video. Today, guys, we got the new 8.20.0 update added to the game. Finally, been talking about it for so long, I feel, that we were never going to get it. I think we've been talking about this for like the last month or two, and we finally have it here, guys. Also, I'm trying a new camera location, just taking some advice. If you like it up here, let me know. If you want it back on the same spot, let me know. I'll, work with you guys here. But awesome. We have this new update, and there's a couple things I want to go over and talk about here. First thing that comes to mind is the Fortis buff for me. Now, they've completely overshadowed that Fortis Angar buff situation by throwing all this other extra stuff in the mix here. We have Aislinn, this standard Unity champion who can strengthen up your team. And as you see behind him, we don't have just the defense standard here that he wears. There's the HP, resistance, crit rate. I'm not sure what this arrow one is, but then we have the attack. Is this accuracy? This one might be accuracy actually. So it looks like we're gonna get that for a lot of different champions in this game soon. Now scrolling down, faction unity, we get it. Not gonna go too in depth on any of this stuff here. Aislinn, the stalwart, pretty cool. This guy is a powerhouse. Also, another thing you probably noticed when you woke up is the insane power surge that has been given to all of your champions who are wearing blessings. All right, we did get that blessing enhancement added to the game, as well as this champion exchange for High Mother mod. And I've been seeing people actually post their screenshots of their chest opening, and I saw somebody get 12 fragments in a total of 10 chests. So that's great. 12 in their first week is a huge start. Not to say that every week will be the same, but right now they're on pace for at least a 9-week High Mother mod, run there to get her. Anyway, couple things here. I want to point out that this change with the live arena, okay, losing the arena points, not a big deal, but reducing the maximum battle duration from 30 minutes to 20 minutes is a bit of a detriment. Is actually hurts me as a player who might enjoy a longer fight. If I'm using a team that will take longer to win, like I have used Frolny, I use Frolny sometimes, and it can take him about 12 to 15 minutes or to even 20 minutes to turn the tide of battle in his favor. Okay, that has happened, and it's not my fault. It's just how the champion is. And then I come to make a comeback around the 25-minute mark, and then the opponent starts stalling every turn. Okay, then the round doesn't end. There's a chance that I was going to win before the 30 minutes happened. Now they've lowered that to 20 minutes. They've completely taken away the chance for you to make a comeback in those last 10 minutes of the fight. And if you just have a team built that can't be killed at all, then yeah, this works out for you and you're gonna draw in every fight. Okay, that's not the idea for me, to draw or anything. It's my idea is to win, even if it takes me 30 minutes. So this to me is a bad thing, because I've had fights go to 30 minutes. I've also had fights go to 28 minutes, 29 minutes, where I've won or I've lost. Okay, so for that player who beat me, it paid off waiting and fighting that fight, getting that win in. This is just gonna make it just stupid. This is just stupid, because how many of you people who are asking for them to lower the duration have never even had a 30-minute fight? A lot of you watching this have probably never even had a 30-minute fight, and this wouldn't even affect at all. Okay, some people, everybody telling me I wouldn't even stay in the fight if it went over 5 minutes. So who's this for then? If this is not for you, then why were you asking for it? I would never even ever ask you to lower the duration. Anyway, let's jump in here to the next part. So permanent super raids, I've already jumped in and done some super raids. I did the Sand Devil super raid. That was awesome. Saddest part is they didn't add super raids to the Minotaur, which would have been the best thing they could have done. It would have made saving up for your 800 gems for the masteries to be kind of worth less at this point, because now you could get your masteries in double the time with energy, right? Not double the time versus the gems, of course, but either way. So we have some other improvements here. And one thing I want to point out is there is no information on here about Fortis or Angar. They literally just didn't even throw it in here. They didn't mention it at all. So when I come down here and I see these names, I look for the people that I have, the champions that I own, and I don't see anybody. Strategos, Caroline, don't really care. If these are your champions and you have them, then these could be buffs and bugs that are fixed for you. Awesome. Fix the bug that Head of Rat's Vengeance counter to go beyond stacks. Okay. Let's see what is important here. So I don't even have Krisk. I don't have Nishak. I do have Rathalos and Fatalis. Fix the bug for Rathalos, Blade Master, skill to attack enemies before buff even applied. Okay, I didn't notice that, but I'm glad that they did. So now we get the buff before we attack. We're also getting a bug fix to Fatalis' A2, where he fails to ignore strengthen, increase defense, ally protect, and so now he might be doing a lot more damage with the A2. Slapping. Fix a bug that caused players to have an issue with to use both a skill that removes debuffs and a skill that places. Oh, wow. Okay. Cool. Then we move over here to this information. Also, wow. Yeah, I forgot about this. So we have a huge revamp to the SoulStone blessing system. However, not a revamp to Iron Twins. That is a big L for raid right there. Just a big L, not addressing sort of what we've already been saying from the get-go. But what they have addressed is the 2x wish list going to an 8x. And I'm going to open my 10 stones here in just a moment for you guys. I'm going to open up 10 stones, try to find some wish list champions. Probably not going to get them. And now we also have the rebalance for blessings. My favorite thing here about this update is the vamp to all of the champion stats, okay? Whether you are going to use any of these blessings, that's up to you. Go ahead and read that. You've already probably done it. Sheep debuff, getting a little bit of a change. And then lastly, we have new champions released, all that stuff. Cool. Couple mythicals, and then the Ancora Fragment event. When I first logged on, or sorry, when I went to bed last night, I would tell you that my player power up here in the top right corner, which says 16.6 million, was at 16.0 or 16.1. So to wake up with another like what 400,000 500,000 player power on this account, that's insane. And here's where that all comes from. Let's go ahead and take a look at Ultimate Death Knight, who was at like 220,000 player power before. So now he has a buff to, I think, his HP, definitely to his defense. Attack got a little bit of a buff. Accuracy got a buff as well. The resistance didn't change. Let's see, Blessing, Life Harvest. Yeah, I just think he got overall a buff all around everywhere. Jumping over to Razovarg, I did not expect this one at all. He was at like 112 power, 112,000 power. Now he's got HP, he's got defense, he's got resistance as well. So huge increase to Razovarg there. Duchess got a bit of an increase as well. I think she got some accuracy she doesn't need. What I love the most though is my HP champions getting a huge buff to their HP. 103,000 HP on Frolny, whereas before I think I had like 99,000, something like that. This is awesome. This is fantastic to see. Same with our bias here. She got a little bit of a buff to the HP, to the defense, I think. So she's looking pretty solid there. What is it? Sun Wukong, I think, got... So he hasn't actually received his accuracy or resistance buffs yet. But he's going to on the next star there. But he got a little bit of an increase as well, as we can tell. I'm not sure exactly where, but he's a strong monkey. One strong monkey right here. All right, let's go into Emic. Emic went from like 112,000 HP, 115,000 HP, up to 120,000 HP. Pretty solid there. Kaja getting an even bigger buff there with the HP. I don't know about the defense, but she'll get the resistance here on the next star, I think. Fatalis, who I just pulled the other day, of course, with the deck of fates. 95,000 HP. He was at like 90. He was like 80 something. He was kind of low. It was kind of low, but now 95,000 HP. Some good defense. He's pretty fast too. I'm gonna get him up to 270 speed. Gonna get more crit damage, of course. Once I rework this, I can rework the amulet. What else was it? So Warden of the Fallen. He's gonna get more defense. He's gonna get more HP, more crit damage. Yeah, he's gonna be insane by the end of all this. But who I want to look at as well is Newt, who I believe we're going with the Phantom Touch here, Phantom Touch Blessing. They spaced these out quite a bit, so you do need to get a 5-star to get the accuracy, and that's what I'm looking forward to the most on my Newt, is getting that 5-star for the accuracy. But this is really nice. Now I do get quite a bit of HP on him that I didn't have before. I don't think you got HP on him with this, but now with Phantom Touch, you get a better blessing all around. And arguably, I could change this from Phantom Touch to something else. Why is it saying that it costs 200? Hold on. Isn't there a free blessing rework? Guys, what is this? Rebalance. It just said free blessing rework. Let me see this. Breakdown. I swear, I read this a second ago. Exchange fragments. Let me see. All right, so took me a minute to figure out, but guys, so there is a free blessing change. However, there's a bug going on right now. Why is there always a bug, Plarium? Jesus. It's a bug going on right now that some champions don't have that free option for some reason. Like, let me see here. Let's test this out. 200? What are you talking about? Maybe, okay, Rathalos, I don't know if I haven't changed his ever, so that may... 200? So they didn't actually implement the free blessing change option here. Frolny gets it. I don't know if I've ever changed his, though, so that might just be nothing there. Let's see Emic here. That one costs. So, player, we gotta work on your delivery here. Come on. Anyway, so you get that free blessing change. All right. So what was I showing? I want to show Timid as well here, who doesn't have a high enough blessing count to get the accuracy, but I will eventually. That does suck though. Here's the downside to this for some people who had a 4-star blessing on a champion and you were getting that accuracy. You actually lost some accuracy now and resistance because they've moved it up to the next spot. Okay, kind of a weird fix there, but all around this is still a good fix, a good buff for these champions, right? Who else do I have that I can take a look at? I got quite a few champions with 3, 4, 5-star blessings. But let's take a look at something else. So this video is just gonna be a little bit of showing off the new stuff in this update. Talk about the battle duration. We got the super raids. Take a look here at Sand Devil. You can do the super raid on Sand Devil now. Awesome. That's freaking awesome. I love that. None for Minotaur. Sadly, we don't get that. We got it for the Shogun, of course, as well. So that'll be fun to experiment with and to play with and just, you know, get these resources a lot faster. I want to talk about... So the Fortis buff, I'm going to actually do a video, a separate video on the Fortis buff, as well as showing off my Fatalis Blade Master in another video. But I'm going to open up my SoulStones here. And I also want to talk about Cursed City before I end this video. So let's take a look here for the wish list. This is a pretty good list. I'm going to take Kaja off here. I want to try and get something for Fatalis since I recently pulled him. I only got 10 shards, or maybe I can get 11. All right, I got 11 shards, guys. Take a look at the Soul Merchant here. Yeah. All right, so this looks pretty solid to me. Let's go ahead and pull 10. Let's do a 1 first. Get this 10, this 8x for wish listed champions. All right, now let's do a 10 times on the new 8x wish list for SoulStones. There's a wish list, a nice Pytheon there. I don't know if I have that 3-star. We got a wish list. Turvold, Kinagashi, and then what is this? A Mortem Cab. So honestly, that was not a bad pull at all. 2 wish lists right off the bat. Pytheon, Turvold, Mortu. If only that Godseeker was like a 4 or a 5-star. Oh man, that would have been awesome. Let me see if I can use any of those. So I don't need the Godseeker. I really don't think I can use any of these, to be honest. But so I mean, I could sell them. Really, just sell the majority of these. I'll go through it another time. So that was the new 8 times chance for wishlisted champions. I actually feel pretty good about that. If I were to go ahead and drop some money on like 128 Mortal Soul Stones, I feel like my odds of getting something would be greatly increased. So that's awesome. Grab the 200 there. Last thing I want to talk about before I end this video is the Cursed City. Guys, Players have just recently asked for our feedback on the Cursed City. If you were somebody who is able to get through like all 3 of these areas of the game and then find yourself stuck in or completing Soul Cross. So if you were to get into Soul Cross last rotation, then Plarium have taken a list of all the players who were able to get into Soul Cross and sent them a player feedback review for Cursed City. And if you got that in your inbox, it's expired now. You can't do it. I should have recorded myself doing it. You basically go to a website, answer some questions. You're kind of confined to answering yes or no, 1 through 10, if it's satisfying, dissatisfying. You're kind of left to choose, like, check off some boxes that they want you to check off, which is fine and all that. And at the end, they let you give other feedback to your own free will if you want to add something that wasn't at all on the table here, like, hey, player, you should do this with the Cursed City, yada yada yada. But the player feedback, that I gave was, hey, Amius is a little too strong. He takes like 5-6 turns sometimes, not really, but he takes like 3 to 4 turns before you ever get to go. He's just way too strong. You need to have a smite debuff on him. You need to have heal reduction for the most part, right? You kind of need some of these things. You don't exactly need them all the time. I get it. You can do this fight with the right champions, but honestly, let me just be honest with this rotation And this slew of champions, there's nothing I can do to win this and beat this boss. If it were just difficult and all I had to do was put my brain together and like come up with a good team, that's fine. I could do that after like a ton of failures and all that stuff. But to hit this this boss and have no way of winning at all is so annoying and so upsetting, right? Because he also has an ability that he like does less damage when you have more blessings on your team. And you know, I might have the correct champion to fight this guy, but I don't have the correct amount of blessings on that champion, right? It's sort of similar to Shogun. There's almost no reason that I'm going to be using Uko here when Uko has no blessing. But Uko is a great champion to use against him. Kind of sucks. Also, just, you know, stop making the requirements for some of these stages so difficult for such bullshit rewards. Like this one here for these brews. I can't do this. Magic defense support. This should be doable. I just don't have enough champions to do it is all. But a lot of these stages are just quite difficult for just no reason. You can farm these oils if you could do Sand Devil, right? But why would I spend my time re-gearing and focusing on using these champions to fight this when I could just farm this, you know, from the Sand Devil, when of course I could just go straight to this double boss. So a player are thinking of like removing the double bosses, maybe even adding new bosses to the game. That was an option in the player review. It was, should we add new bosses? Should we change some of the rewards? What should we do? Now, here's what I would do, Plarium. And I want you guys to let me know if this is true or not. When you now take a look, we have 1 day, 20 hours left on this rotation. When you guys get to the third week of the rotation on Cursed City, are you done advancing? Have you advanced as far as you could go by week 3 and you're doing nothing with Cursed City for the remainder of the time it's open? Because that's how I feel with Cursed City. I can get as far as I can get in. I could probably do this with some gear reworking. I get as far as I can get within the first 3 weeks of the rotation, and then I'm stuck doing nothing for the remainder. Now, I could come back in here after maybe a sick pull on a champion or some motivation to beat a stage and say, you know what, I'm going to hit this stage hard. Actually, I feel like I can do it. Let me focus on this. You know, you might have that motivation, but by week 3, I am tapped out. I am finished with everything I can do. Here's normal. This one's completed all the way. Normal's pretty simple. And I can't go any further. Plarium, here's what you should do. Reduce the Cursed City duration from 4 weeks down to 3 weeks and give us 10 keys instead. So remove a whole week from the Cursed City, so it resets faster. We can get our hands on Merciless, on Supersonic Gear a little faster. We can get our hands on, oh my god, we can get our hands on the Cursed Remnants faster as well. That's at least 2 to 3 more Cursed Remnants, pulls a year. Right now it's 24 if you're doing everything. If you can complete everything on here, you can get 24 Remnant pulls a year, right? But some people can't. Some people can't get these last 2 stages here for the remnants. Can't even get the boss. I couldn't get the boss this time, so fuck me. I miss out on 100 remnants here. I miss out on like 40 here, just 60 here. So I barely got any in this whole rotation, I would say, to be honest. But player, reduce the Cursed City duration from 4 weeks down to 3, and round up our keys from 8 to 10 or 12, whatever you want to do. Just give us a couple more keys a day, right? And make the rotation a lot faster. Make some of the stuff a little easier. But I just don't think there's any reason to have this open for 4 weeks, right? This just isn't the same as Doom Tower. You don't need that all those extra days like you do in Doom Tower half the time. And I mean, I'm almost done here with Doom Tower. Normal, I guess. I might have missed a day. I don't know why, but I might have missed one day. I always finish normal and hard, so don't worry about that. But what do you guys think about that change? Should Plarium, when they come back in with the April update? Now I say April because think about it this way. December, we had our first Doom Tower rotation. Plarium gathered all the data they could from us, and they sent out that player feedback review. And then they opened up the second rotation in January, right? And that's when we got the player feedback thing. This is the January rotation we're in right now, actually. So we had 2 rotations. They sent out the player feedback during the second rotation, and we're about to have rotation 3 in less than a day, in 2 days, less than 2 days. And so there won't be any change coming in this next rotation. It's going to be too soon. The soonest I can foresee any Doom Tower changes to how it works and the rotation and all is in the April update, in the April rotation. So you know, stay tuned for that. We might see some big changes to I might have said Doom Tower, but we might see some changes to the Cursed City in April, okay? Now, I really wish I had included this 3-week rotation, maximum rotation, and 10 key idea for them during my feedback, but I did not think about it, okay? But that's really it, guys. That's it for the video. We got a big update here. Got a lot of things added to the game. This new fragment. Here's the fragment exchange going on here. And White Queen and Korra. Pretty cool. So if you guys found anything useful in this video, if you got any good information or any good feedback for me based on anything I've said, please let me know in the comments, and also leave a like on this video, and I'll see you again next time. Thanks.